from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello, bakers. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights and press play. Whoops. Where am I? I haven't recorded an intro in about 2 weeks, so I totally got mixed up. I mean, I'm not used to being I've recorded some on-location episodes over the past couple weeks, but those are different. So I think I just messed up the beginning of the podcast. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello, bakers. It's time for the podcaster that doesn't expect you to be perfect, or you don't even perfection or imperfection. Those are just words here that really are meaningless. Though I can demonstrate one of the two of those. I'm very apt. Some would say I'm perfect. I'm perfect at demonstrating imperfection. Or it's all, I guess if I had many different taglines, it'd be like, now's the perfect time for me to be imperfect. I guess that's like, actually is a phrase that just popped in my head that kind of makes sense. It's always a perfect time for being imperfect. How come that's not on a Valentine? It's because it's like June or something. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, well. Welcome to Sleep With Me. If you're already confused, I mean, clearly I'm confused about the time and the structure of my own podcast. But Sleep With Me is a show. It's very different. It's a sleep podcast meant to keep you company so you could fall asleep versus putting you to sleep. And what that means is that I'm going to be here and take your mind off of stuff so you can fall asleep and just keep you company. So it does take some getting used to. Just give this show a few tries. I'm just meant to be your friend here to keep you company in the deep, dark night. So just see how it goes. Structure we got coming up, support. So paying for the podcast is optional. Then a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime, not to put you to sleep. Could fall asleep during it, but most people chill out, wind down. And then later on, we'll be running through an episode of the Great British Bake Off. And I'm really glad you're here. And if you're new or not in a position or already asleep, don't worry about it. But if you get a lot out of this podcast, you probably heard me talking about it a bunch. You'll hear me talking about it again. If you're one of those 20,000 people out of more than a million listens every month that get the most out of the show, that listen the most, that have listened the longest, and you want to opt in, you say, man, this podcast does make my life better. These are the ways you could opt in. So we can do this for you and for all those other people every single week. So thank you. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep, and they've got some amazing deals coming up. You're going to hear about it at the end of this ad read, so do not miss out. I want you to right now to open up your phone. Just do it with me. I'm going to go to helixsleep.com/sleep, and if I were you, I wouldn't want to, I don't know what your relationship with your bed is right now. I've had a long-term relationship with my Helix mattress. It fits my needs, how I sleep. I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach, but now I'm sleeping more on my back, and I'm relocating, and unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I could ship my mattress because I have to move my stuff before I move. But that's okay. It means I get a new Helix, so I'm going to take the Helix quiz right now, helixsleep.com/sleep. 30 seconds, and you give, okay, one or two sleepers. One. Okay, let me put in my email. Put in my name here, give a little bit of information. Okay, what size mattress am I considering? I got that down. All right. I don't know if are you taking this quiz with me at helixsleep.com/sleep? All right, toss. I guess I toss and turn. So I'm going to pick toss and turn. And what kind of firmness? Okay, I'm going to pick my firmness that fits my needs. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get yours, Okay, I'm going to talk about my back there, talk about temperature. All right, I got matched with my mattress. Oh, boy. And it's a different one than I have now just because I made a couple changes to how I sleep. So I'm going to check this out and think about it for my next Helix I'm going to be sleeping in. So take that Helix quiz. It's going to be coming right to your door, but most of all, it'll be a mattress that fits you, your needs, and how you sleep. And the best news is that Helix has amazing deals for Sleep With Me listeners, but only if you use our link. So all you need to do is go to helixsleep.com/sleep for Labor Day early access and get 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, this is Scoots reading through referrals of people that supported the show. Super listeners just like you that supported the show. If any of this resonates with you, you might be the person I'm trying to get a hold of. And honestly, if you're listening to me and hearing me right now, I am not talking to anybody else. It is rare even for super listeners to be listening and hearing me. But like those are the people whose minds I'm trying to change, not people that have already decided not to support the show. Then maybe listen to what Taylor had to say. Thanks. Taylor said, I'm an adult in my late 20s, early 30s. I go through brief periods of insomnia that last a month. Like many mentioned in the intro, I tried Sleep With Me on a friend's recommendation and bounced off of it. It wasn't until a few years later where I was really struggling to find something to help me sleep. I tried it again and worked. Personally, I found the ads distracting, so I decided to try out the ad-free ones by supporting the show, and this version worked perfectly for me. The monthly cost is small compared to the benefit I get from the show. There wasn't anything that's specific that kept me from supporting the show, but Taylor, I just to paraphrase, Taylor did start falling asleep during the intros, so obviously, like, instead of winding down during the intros, the ad spots would wake Taylor up. I was a little skeptical that the ad-free would help and planned only to try it for a few months to see if it helped, and well, it's been a few years. Because I found the show helpful, I do feel good about supporting the podcast so it can help other people. And yeah, thanks so much for supporting the show, Taylor. If you're still listening and hearing from me, you relate to what Taylor says. You are a super listener. I'd love it if you could consider supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus, because I hope you're that one person I'm trying to get a hold of out of those 19 people so we can be here for you and everybody else long into the future. You could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
This posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team let us down. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support, dear Scooter, on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcript.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Oh, and hey, if you're listening to this, you know, the referral program, if you're not in a position to financially support the show, is a huge way to support the show and get free access to Sleep With Me Plus. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. But there's also a tiny way anybody can help out the show. It's free. It helps out the show a little bit. And that's following the podcast wherever you listen to it or commenting if you listen on Spotify or YouTube. It really helps other people discover the show, helps you stay up to date on the latest episodes. And only 50% of people follow or subscribe. It's free to follow or subscribe in podcast apps. So if you do that, it just gives it helps people discover the show and it helps you stay up to date on the show. So follow or subscribe in your podcast app. That'll help out the show a little bit. Not necessarily keep us going forever, but I'd appreciate it. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. That's in every podcast app, too. That has a story-only episodes that add it to your sleepy repertoire. Thanks, and what do you say we get on with the show? Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who, whoops, I messed up again. Hey, are you up all night, tossing, turning, mind racing? Trouble getting, I'm a little bit, it's my first time in the studio in 2 weeks. You up all night, tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. That could be thoughts on your mind, things you're thinking about, thoughts, like thinking thoughts about the past, the present, the future. It could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally related to those thoughts, or from left over from the day, or anticipation of tomorrow, or feelings that are just there, feelings that are just making an appearance. Oh boy, love it when that happens. Yes, my fingers are I have feelings when I cross my fingers too. Say, oh boy, don't do that. You see, what are you saying? I don't even know. Then I have thoughts about it because I say, wait, is it? Am I not supposed to cross both my fingers? Is there a difference between my left and my right? Wait, is it double? I don't know. Am I not supposed to put them behind my back, or am I supposed to? Fingers crossed. My feelings are going to have feelings about it. Can't believe you talked about. That would be a thought, I guess. Do you realize you how do you not know anything about crossing your fingers? Because you just never paid attention. No wonder it doesn't work for you. Yeah, I guess, is that really why? No, but see, okay, buddy, yeah. So it could be feelings, could be physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. The old paper critic within my mind seems so intimidating till you ask a couple questions and says, well, I actually don't have anything additive to give you. Say, okay, so, yeah, but this is where these things that I've dealt with my whole life, I can put to use in a positive way to help you fall asleep and to keep you company. But also, whether it's physical sensations or changes in time, temperature, routine, travel, guests, you're going through something, you're getting over something, you're in the middle of something, whatever it is that you're dealing with, I've been somewhere similar. I might not have been in the same spot you're in, but I think I know how it feels, and that's why I want to help, because I know what it feels like for me. Trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep, trouble waking up, all those things. And I just want to help if I can, because I've been there. And even if I don't know how it feels for you, here's the really good news about this show. There's enough people listening that somewhere in the world, there is someone listening right now who does know how it feels for you, who's been there and has dealt with that kind of thing, like it has been through something similar, and they know how you feel, and they really relate to it, and they're rooting for you, or they're feeling for you, they're holding a place for you, or holding hope for you to get a good night's sleep. Or maybe not, or maybe and all those things, because they've been there and they know what it feels like. They can see you in that way that's indirect and special. And they're lying in their bed thinking of you kindly. And that's where the magic of the show really happens. And it is like rebellious to just kind of think of someone kindly that's, been in that place we don't like to go to, or that is unpleasant to to say the least. And they hope like, hey, I hope this podcast can help you like it helped me. And that one day you get that good feeling of being like an indirect welcoming presence to a new listener. Because I can feel it even when I'm recording it right now. I can feel your side of it if you're new. And you're like, what is this show? I don't even get this. What is this goo-goo this guy's talking about? But at the same time, you know what it's like for you when you can't sleep or whatever it is you're dealing with that brought you here. But I also know the magic of the people out there that have been around a while. And they're like, man, I'm glad this person's here. I hope they're smiling gently in their bed or wherever they're winding down or whatever. So it's one part that's important about the show. The other thing is you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need so your life is more manageable. So you could get the rest you need on a regular basis so that bedtime isn't something you dread or full of rigmarole. It's something you could look forward to or at least feel neutral about. Well, I got that pod guy. At least I got that to look forward to. And he's going to go on and on and on. Because when you get the rest you need, your life is better. And that means our world's a better place. And that's the truth. So the way the show works is I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So that means I go off topic, I get mixed up, then I forget what I was talking about, then I double back, then I get lost. I do all of that, not only because it just comes natural to me, but also it's a part of just being here to keep you company. Did I say send my voice across the deep? I think I said that stuff right, lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones. Just getting back into the groove here. And a couple of things to know about the show. Most people don't like the show or me when they first get here. Actually, most people never like me. And I would say a third of people have much stronger feelings than that about me. And that's okay because you still deserve a good night's sleep. I have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. So if you decide this show is not for you, there's plenty of other sleep podcasts nowadays out there and other sleep audio. And I have some of that listed for you. People are always, coming up with new versions of so just see how, but when you first get here, see how it goes. Because most of the regular listeners, the people that are rooting for you right now, that are mildly cheering for you, when they got here, they were confused, they were skeptical, they were doubtful, they were frustrated. They're like, where's this guy going? What does he mean with those catchphrases that he already forgot about whatever it was being whatever it was? It's always perfect time for being imperfect. Always perfecting my imperfectionism. I could have if there was a wheel, I guess it wouldn't be a wheel because it wouldn't be imperfect. Like one of those wheels you use to sharpen stuff or make yarn. I don't know what those things do. I don't even know. I guess I forgot. I guess I was always perfectly honing my imperfectionism. I don't know. Some image popped in my mind. It was unrelated to words. And that's why most people are confused when they get here and skeptical or doubtful. But on the second or third try, people say, oh, wait a second. Now I realize he was serious about that. He's always going nowhere, always never getting started. He does believe it's perfect time for being imperfect. It's always a perfect time. Instead of whatever the happy hour clock is, it's imperfection time somewhere. I guess maybe I should come out with an album. It's perfection. I guess I could never remember the stuff. It's always time. It's imperfect time. If I had a team of people, come on, it's imperfect time. I don't know. Maybe we'll get back to that with the Super Doll or something. The Imperfects, Scooter and the Imperfects, always singing off key. Yeah, we're not a doo-wop band. We're a band. Hardy har har. Oh yeah, just take some getting used to. This is a show that's mildly, barely humorous. So just see how it goes. I'm not kidding either. Like, I've gotten hundreds and hundreds of thousands of emails over the past 11 years that say that same thing over and over again in different ways. I never knew, on the third try, I realized I never knew I was looking for something like this my whole life, that something like this could exist. Because it's a podcast you don't really listen to. It's like out of focus painting, TV on in the other room, or a show streaming under your pillow, or sand running through your hands. Something you don't quite grasp, but you can feel. And it's also a podcast that doesn't put you to sleep, even though this is like probably like it's been a sleep podcast for over 11 years when this wasn't really a thing. I'm not even here to put you to sleep. There is no pressure to fall asleep with this show. I'm going to be here over an hour, so you don't have to worry about when you fall asleep. And I'm going to be here to the very end to keep you company while you fall asleep. Because there's people listening who can't sleep at all or who need a break during the day. And I'm here to the very end, whether you're awake or asleep. That's one of the things that works about the show. My job is to tell you a bedtime story or ramble on and on and on and keep you company. And you don't have to pay attention to me. You just could if you need to. And because my job is to be your boar friend, your boar bay, your neighbor, your borbie, your boars, your boorman, your Boris Borloff, your Borbra, Borsib, Borcas, your best boyfriend forever. And to just be here and talk to you, just like a roommate would, or someone but I can do it on a regular basis. And I don't expect you to remember anything I said, but you could listen. So that's one thing. Don't listen to me. Most people don't like me. It takes a while to get used to the show. Oh, structure the show's the other thing I like to explain. So a show's structured in a very specific way, but you can adjust. But this is the way, if you're listening to this ad-supported, listener-supported version, for free, this is the most popular way to listen to shows, this version linearly. So that's how most people listen. It starts off with a greeting. Then there's support, so paying for it's optional. Then there's a long meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. If you prefer some of the now ads, or you get so much out of the show like you are a regular listener, you could support the show. But that's nothing to do with the intro. The intro is a show within a show, which we're like about 15 minutes into now. Usually it's like 15 to 20 minutes long, where I follow the same structure trying to introduce the podcast, but I get off track in a new way every single time, or a somewhat new way. And that way it's like we're hanging out. It's familiar, but it's different every time. So whatever keeps you awake can't quite adjust. And I think that's an important thing. The show variety is like one of the important things about Sleep With Me, but a familiar variety. So, yeah, the intro goes on and on and on, not just to put you to sleep. There is a small percentage of people that fall asleep, but most people, it's to ease you into bedtime as you're getting ready for bed, as you're getting comfortable, or as you're winding down, doing some other chill activity. The intro can play. If you prefer a show without intros, you can get that in any podcast app. It's called Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. But for most people, the intro is a nice time to have some distance from the day and just spend some time together. It's most of the time the only part of the show people hear. So the intro eases you into bedtime. Then there's support. Then there'll be a discussion of the episode of the Great British Bake Off. And all told, I'll be here a little bit over an hour. to keep you company so you can fall asleep. So just see how it goes if you're new. You know, we work really hard, myself and a team of people on the show. We yearn and strive. We really want to help you fall asleep. We couldn't do it without all of you. So thanks again for coming by. And if you're new or you're not in a position, well, if you're in a position to support the show, it'd be great if you could refer people to the show or refer people to podcasting in general. But if you get something out of this podcast, if you regularly count on this show and it makes your life better, these are the ways you can give back so you can ensure the show's here for you too and everybody else that needs it. Thanks. All right, Bakers. You get to, Scoots here doing Collection 8, Episode 8, and we get our cold open. It's a cherry bakewell. Where's Matt? Noel says, and then the cherry bakewell talks. It says, welcome to the British Baking Show. Noel says, have you seen Matt Lucas? Tell him I'm looking for him. Okay. And that was cute. Then we get all the talking heads. I got to buy myself I got to find where can I buy a Bakewell? Oh, Bakewell. Where could I buy a Bakewell? And will I like it? I don't know. We see jellies getting made, gelatinous cakes, it looks like, and some other thing with leakage getting made with the preview. And Noel's doing some different jokes, and it goes in on a joke to the theme music, and it all starts nice and slow. And then we have the talking heads. Hermine's talking about the eggs in her fridge at home. She's been gone so long. Peter's like, is that Peter? That's not Peter. That's David. No coats on. It's going to be warm. Laura's family's happy. David's family's happy. Mark and Peter are a little bit nervous. Peter's practice has not gone well. So this is a week he's unsure about. And we find out, Prue's got great slacks and a sweater with, of course, her accoutrement, glasses and other things, playing off one another. And, okay, small mini cheesecakes from scratch. They better have a base, homemade base base from scratch. Base made from scratch. And Marx gets that bake, please. Peter has an aversion to cheese. So he hasn't eaten many cheesecakes. He's not like me. I overdid. I don't eat cheesecake because I overdid it as a kid. You don't want to have a cracked cheesecake. Paul says step it up a notch, by the way. And Prue wants it full flavor and silky smooth. Base better have some texture. And Peter's doing Peter's doing a Odie one. Prue says tiny, better pack a punch. Hermine's multitasking. They better be exquisite and look beautiful, Prue says. Everyone's been star baker once, according to Paul, and that means better be sublime. What could possibly go wrong? Well, Mark's glasses are fogging up. Start with that. Peter, what are you up to, they say? Ginger and lime cheesecakes. Ooh, boy. Lime pie-esque, lime pie vibes. And what's his name? Paul? He says that's what I would have done. Tiny take, some alliteration there. Ginger nut biscuit base with oats. Biscuit base. That's our second alliteration right in a row that I noticed. And he says, yeah, maybe I made some at home ec at school. Noel gives Peter the same name as Steph Curry has, one of Steph Curry's nicknames. Mark, Noel says, start with a biscuit. It better be good. And a biscuit for a cheesecake. That's what everybody's working on. Oh, boy, Laura spilled hers. But I made more than I needed. Hers is a honey and oat biscuit. vanilla passion fruit cheesecake, passion fruit curd, firm set. She says, I don't want it to be like last week. Last week was with ice cream. 80s week with ice cream cake. Just focus. That's the plan, man. That's the plan, Stan, man. Or whatever. Everyone's biscuits are different. So, let's get this common theme. Passion fruit extract for Laura. Va-va-voom. And what's that guy's name? Dave. He's doing a different interpretation. Citrus cheesecake. Lemon cheesecake filling, traditional, but with a passion fruit and orange glaze or a glaze. Some lime meringue kisses. Not lemon. Don't kiss me with a lemon. Kiss me with a lime meringue, please. It's quite a bit of gelatin or gelatin. And what if it doesn't say? Well, the citrus makes it tough. Okay, cheesecake should be a mouth-watering blend of contrasting textures. Nice crunch, soft filling, cuttable glaze at the top. And a lot of people are using different molds to support the thing. But reigning Star Baker is using, Ermine's using jars. Which, that's the thing, man. I was at a podcast conference, and there was people giving out jars of cheesecake in a jar. Kind of like a fish song, but without, passion fruit jelly, meringue kisses. I prefer meringue kiss. Isn't a lime? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but I just was stating my personal preference for naming my kisses. Okay, Paul's giving her a hard time. Are you going to leave him in the jar? Yeah, in the jar. Oh, that's interesting. And Bruce says, it's going to be wonderful, Paul. Zip it. Go outside. We're halfway through. Holy moly, everybody's saying. Matthew, I want you to meet my friend, Mr. Spoon. Noel says, do you remember him? I remember him. Let's talk to Mr. Spoon. This is his cousin, Andre Spoon. So they have a little character down to business, though. You got to make, your cheesecake assembly time. Because how do you bake them? Maybe a Bon Marie, maybe a Ban Marie. Bathing with Bon Marie. If I ever did a show about baths, could I do that show? Like, and I'd have, like, just to pitch it a little bit further, I'd like to have a baguette. Bathing with Bon Marie. Can somebody remind me? I like how that sounds. A Bon Marie's a bath anyway, right? Bon Marie, bathing, Bon Marie's and bathing, bathing with Bon Marie's. I make my Bon, you know what I'm saying? They say, no, what are you, Kramer now? Why do you have a baguettes? Just because it sounds good. And also I'm just imagining, maybe a beret too. And barrettes in my bath with my Bon Marie. What do they call me when I'm driving? And what do they call Scoots when he's driving in Germany? Bon Marie. Why? Well, just because I like to say I'm on the Autobahn with Bon Marie. Bonbons would be another thing I would have there. You're right. Okay, anyway, half hour left. We may have, what's going on? Oh, the Spoon's talking. I like how Noel moves him. He plays things slow. I like it. Patient. Can't overbake them or they'll crack. But if they're underbaked, a weird eggy mixture. You don't want to get, Peter, who's that, Peter? He has a dip in the middle. Oh, some people are baking them in the oven, I guess. Oh, maybe the oven is water and Bon Marie. Like, oh, that's their means because theirs are in a jar. Yeah, other people are baking. There's like straight up baking. Peter's got some serious sinkage. Now, what he wanted to see. Now you got to cool it down and slow it down and watch out for your cheesecakes. Some people put them in the fridge because they got to support the top. And there's 15 minutes left. Passion fruit coulis. And curd sin for Peter, man. Slightly concerning. Central to the decoration. Should I put some butter in there, he thinks? I'm going to try that. Laura's chilling. I think hers are done. Dave's like assembling his. Gotta release them. Release your cakes. Mark's are hot. Laura's turning hers out of the molds. Not set yet. 5 minutes, Ermine asks, and she's answered. Mr. Spoon is in Matt's chair. Andre the Spoon, by the way. Okay, curd's not good for Peter. Now it's not usable because of the butter. And Spoon's talking. I mean, they're like really distracting Peter you could tell he's trying to be polite, but it's like, you got to be kidding me. I'm trying to get this done. One more element that makes this difficult that you wouldn't think so, but it does. Mark almost lost his office counter. Laura's having trouble extracting hers. Peter's baking on the fly. He's still trying to come up with a solution. Dave's popping his. Mark's are going to be squidgy. Meringue kisses coming out for Dave. 1 minute left. Ermine's doing her kind of detail work too. Laura's putting on a second layer. Wow, Ermine's even got labels for her jars. We got the final thing. Laura says rubbish. Mark's look more like quiches. No offense. They just do. To me, they do. So, all right. Put them at the end of your workstations, people. You got it. All right. Well, what do we got here? We got, I don't know. We got the tent, and then we got everybody sitting, stroking their chins and chins. Okay, Paul and Brew are about to check everything out. Hey, Dave. Hey, everybody. Celebration of citrus cheesecakes. Say, what in the name of alliteration? Very neat. Is Bon Marie here? Yeah, by the way, I am. I'm with Andre the Spoon. Bon Marie here with Andre the Spoon. Custard middle's delicious, Bruce says. Texture's perfect. Jelly's thick, and I like it. Dave laughs. Paul was concerned about the gelatin. Did you put it all in? I did. I thought it would be rubbery because I know everything. But you did a good job. You ticked all the boxes, and it tastes good. Well done. Next up is Ermine. Hers is ready. I mean, I'd buy one, honestly. They do look pretty. Paul takes a scoop. Prue makes a face. Stodgy. Not as silky as Prue hoped. Base is soft, says Paul. Couldn't cook in a jar. Sweat's in there. Got the moisture of the cheesecake and stuff. Not enough lime either, or passion fruit. Looks good, though. Thank you. Oof. Mark's up next. We get a shot of, what is the guy's name? The other guy. I can't remember his name. Peter. Stroking his arm for comfort. Too big and too thin, Mark, they say. They put them in their mouths. You don't get any apricot till you hit the apricot or the vanilla. And they should look neater. Apricot should have been everywhere because it was delicious when you did get a bite of it. Okay. Noel says, well done, though. Peter, lime and ginger cheesecakes. And we get a panning shot over them. Doesn't look like a cheesecake, Paul says. Mixture must be delicate. It's formed a cauldron. And they start to check it out. Dropped some height. Flavor's lovely. Shape's not perfect. Getting the lime. Ginger's light. Nice flavor. But I'm not getting that enough ginger. It doesn't look the best thing you've done. Thank you. He apologizes. Noel says never apologize. Next up is Laura. And remind us what's in your cheesecake? Vanilla cheesecake, oat and honey base, passion fruit curd, passion fruit mango. Supposed to be a compote, but it's a bit of a mudslide. Does look messy, but I like the consist of the base to the height, Paul says. Paul tastes it, Prue tastes it, they're thinking. Delicious, Prue says. Fantastic, Paul says. The textures are all there, which break through. Passion fruit's there, but not overwhelming. Nothing the matter except the way it looks. And she says she'll take it. So Dave and Laura so far did okay. We only have 4 people left, or no, 5 people. 5. Okay, so I'm just trying to remember from when I watched the episode because I was like confused by the ending. But now I'm like, okay, I get it now. We get talking heads and, you know, the mixed feelings because we got 2 people that kind of got breaths of relief and 3 people that did not. What's our enigmatic gingham technical challenge is set by lovely Prue. Prue, any words of wisdom? Excellent bakers. You're not getting any extra ingredients, so get it right the first time. And this will be judged, you know, they're going to take off, so don't mess it up. Sussex pond puddings, is that what it says? Back to the 1700s. Sussex pond puddings, if just for the alliterative purpose only. Pond puddings, Noel says. Suet pastry, steamed to golden. And then the fillings should come out when you cut it into a lemony, syrupy pond. Hermine's look is worth $1 million. She says her look is like, this does not sound appetizing or like something any of us want to make. So most people have never heard of this Sussex pond pudding. Maybe my nan would, but no one's seen it before. Encased pastry, maybe, with a whole lemon inside by the sounds of it, Mark says. Sussex pond pudding, Prue. Tell me about it, Paul says. Particular favorite. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's surprising because there's a whole lemon inside. 2.5 hours. How are they going to do it? Well, it's hard because it's a pliable pastry. If it's too floppy, it'll tear. You want it to squidge and steam it as long as you got. Really, that's what it comes down to. Puddings like this go far back in British history. Steamed puddings, what we're known for. Get the sweetness, sugar, lemon, butter, creme angelaise or whatever. I don't know how to say that. Silky smooth, kick of vanilla, delicious and beautiful. 5 great bakers in the tent. Let's see what they do, Paul says, because this is delicious. All right, so everybody's got it. You got to use this suet. Okay. And let's try to get that. I never used it. Most people have never used it before. So what is this? What year is this? Hermine says, actually, Peter has used it before for making dumplings. Lighter than you might think. Whole milk is the next ingredient. So this is rich, man. But no idea how much to add. So everybody's like, you got to be kidding me. Make it into a soft, pliable pastry. Why did Prue do this to us? And this is when Hermine's kind of really working her dough. She's like, come on, Prue. Suet breakdown, Noel says. Make it like a normal pastry. Don't overwork it. Keep it cold. Let it rest. These are Laura's questions. You got to knead it till smooth, somebody says. So keep kneading it. And then prepare and line your pudding molds, which I've interpreted as butter and line with flour. Self-raising flour plus extra for dusting. Grease the sides. Peter has a parchment circle. It's a tapered bowl, though. So Mark's trying to put a whole piece of thing in there. And how you feeling upon? Oh, we get a lot of plosives from Matt. He uses all the P words about pond pudding because he doesn't have to make a sleep podcast. So he could use plosives more. Precision. There's another plosive. Plosives when you pop your P's. But with a sleep podcast, I like lean to the side of the mic. We also have like our amp ideally keeps some plosives out too. All right, so everybody's mixing it, putting in the mold. It's time to put the pudding in the mold, man. Really, it's gonna be heavy, medieval even. Prick the lemons and place them in the pastry-lined mold. How much pricking should I do, eh? Mark's going to do a lot with a toothpick. Other people are using other implements. They say, sorry, Prue, this is not anything like you got to be kidding me. Then you got to put sugar and stuff and start lining the mold. Top the pastry with lids, then seal. Wait, what are they? Top the thing with a pastry lid? I don't know. Crimp it, man. Should we crimp it or what should we do? Maybe. I don't know. So they got like a top on there. I don't know if that's like the suet part or what. Make 2 circles of paper and for foil and put those around the pudding molds, which is confusing to everybody. Fold a pleat through the center and then cover. Everybody's like, I don't, this confuses Scoots. Normally it doesn't confuse us. And everybody's looking around about what are they supposed to, they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Is it a handle to carry it or to pull it out? So there's room to expand, Laura says. Cover the mold with pleated paper and foil, secure with string. And put then across the top to make a handle so you can pull it out. I don't know. Prevent moisture. Oh, to keep it sealed. People are talking about making knots. This is not in many people's wheelhouse. And cross your fingers. There we go. Okay, Matt's trying to cross more than one finger. And, okay, let's see. Oh, and these people are still having a tough time. Halfway through. And, place them in the steamer and steam. How long are you going to steam for? An hour? Don't ask me. Hour 50? I don't know. Was it like making dim sum, Matt asks. Can you put both of them in there? Because do they have to make 2? I thought so. Maybe it's only 1. Oh, there goes, what's his name? Mark's having some tea. You got to make a creme angeli, whatever. Egg yolks, cream, milk, tempers, vanilla bean. So, oh boy, that looks nice. Watching them half the vanilla pod. Put a full vanilla pod in there. Thanks, Armin. I believe in the same thing. Egg yolk and sugar mixture. You don't want to when you're tempering things. I've learned this from my attempts to make nog, even my successful one. And then I tried to cheesecloth it. That didn't work. So that was my last attempt to make nog. Tasted delicious. But you're supposed to put it through cheesecloth, and I would have lost like 90% of the nog. It's like, believe it or not, making eggnog costs more than buying it. But now the bakers wait. And they wait, and they look at the tent, and they wait, and they do, what can we do? Noel says, let's do something fun with string. Laura says, mess with Peter? Half hour left, everybody. Half an hour. Everybody's just sitting about. People are trying to check theirs to see. What's his name? His isn't quite there yet. Peter's. I'm not going to use the string now. Should be fine. Oh, boy. That's, oh, Dave does have 2. He takes his out, and then you got to turn them out and serve. I think he took his out a little early. Well, one of his holds together. Second one did not. They're like pot pies. Both of his leak right away. 5 minutes left. Everybody else starts to take theirs out. We got soggy suet, wet pond in the middle. Not much structure to it. Ermine's, no, hers leaked. But first it worked, her carrier thing. Let's try another way on molding it. Flip it. Okay, one of Ermine's holds. One of Mark's seems like it's holding. Laura's got leakage. Mark has one leakage. Peter's got leakage. Looks a shame. And sunken. And then you got to make your, put your creme relage or whatever. So some people have 50-50, at least at best, I think. Yeah, a couple of people have half of theirs are structured. Okay, so first up, we start with who's going to, is Sprue going to be impressed? We don't know. Whole lemon better be in there. Butter and sugar filling. And silky creme, whatever. All right, let's start with this one. Laura's are both leaking. But you can see the shape. Pastry would have been good. Longer in the steamer. It was beginning to flake, so that's a good sign. Sauce is a bit thin. Taste is okay. Need more cooking. Dave's up. These raw. Looks a good custard, though. Vanilla-y, nice. Needed sealing and longer in the steamer. Ermine's one stayed shaped nicely. They looked like could have used a little bit longer. And lemon's hard. Creme angeli's right, all right. And then Peter collapsed on it. It has just raw. It is. Another hour would have been lovely. Creme angeli's nice, spot on. Mark, you got a whole one, and it's not cooked. Understeamed. Brew, this is your fault, really. I mean, it's too short of a time period. Flavors are okay. This is interesting. At least it's fair across the board, though. So you go for worst from, we're going to rank it worst to best, right? All right, who came in last? 5th place? Dave, understeamed, man. Custard was nice. 4th place? Oh, Peter, man, understeamed massively. Ermine, 3rd. And it was 2 hours. 2nd spot, Laura. Oh, no, 2nd spot is Mark. Likeable ones, but needed longer. That means Laura, I wish I could say it was wonderful, but wasn't much better than the rest. And your custard was too thin. Normally we would applaud everybody. This went about as well as the brownie part. Laura's happy. I mean, she said she's 2 for 2. And Mark's like, at least wasn't last. So Ermine and Peter are really, Dave did good in the first one, but those two are not comfortable, right? And I'll be honest, those are my 2 favorites. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm allowed to have, not people as far as bakers go, right? Those are, I don't know. Okay, slimmer and slimmer. The table talk says it was a tough one. We had technical. Everyone did the same. And Paul said, that's my favorite kind of pudding, man. And they made a complete mess, Bruce says. Bruce says, I'm 80 years old, which blows my mind. And Paul says, I'm 40, and everybody has a laugh at that. All right, so Laura won the technical. Anne had a strong signature, so she's in good shape. So what else we got? Hermine, Mark, and David were all in the middle. It could go either way. Peter's at the bottom. We haven't seen that before. So he better do good because he's at the bottom. Okay, so this is a Showstopper challenge. Welcome back. Jelly art design cake. So layered dessert, visually spectacular. Jelly art topping or coating. One element of cake should be a baked sponge. Noel, what jelly art would you make? Paul Hollywood. Oh, really? With lime. Okay. 4.5 hours for this one. On your mark, get set, bake. And people get into the action here. Eating Jell-O is very English. Ready for the jelly. This is a first for the bake-off tent. Baked element, mousse, and jelly. Paul likes it. It's a throwback. Setting of the jelly is a critical part. Many people use gelatin or agar. Gelatin's a bit hard to use because you don't know if you use enough till you set it in the fridge. If you use too much, it'll be too hard. 35 leaves of gelatin for Mark. And melt in warm water or something. I don't know. Too little will be like water. And Peter's like, yeah, I've used it before. You got to put jelly into jelly to make your designs. It's going to take a lot of skill, Bruce says. And everybody's a little bit worried because only Laura was pretty far ahead. So they want 5 amazing bakes. They want everyone to win here, 5 fantastic bakers. So, Laura, you going to stay calm today? Bit of skill, bit of luck for Peter. Hope it all comes together. Get a drone shot. Mark, what's up? What's else about your cake, man? Mousse cake with a panna cotta insert. Some top, 2 layers, apple jelly. 2-tier jelly, by the way. Going to be interesting, as usual. That's a lot. Last time you pulled it off and got out in time, though. Chocolate and strawberry mousses, hazelnut meringue, chocolate mousse, strawberry mousse, jasmine flowers, this is jelly art, and some other flowers. Injecting your flowers, eh? Have you done that before? Not a lot, he says. Okay, well, we want to see you get through to the semifinals, so do your best. It's ambitious, but Bruce got confidence. It's ambitious. Try your best. Peter's got some orange and cranberry flavors, concentrated, so it doesn't affect the texture and look of the jelly. Everybody's using artificial flavoring, so elderflower Mark was originally going to use, but he didn't like how it smelled, so they say, okay, well, quite firm. Peter's stuff's firming up, so he's happy about that. I think he had to blind bake something, or I don't know. There's like different stuff going on. Mixing stuff, making colors, fancy, this is the decorative one. Noel's giving Hermine a hard time now about after dark when he flies in the sky. And Laura's making some fish, fly little fishies. She's making a koi pond, flower power, koi jelly art cake, injected with aquatic plants and fish, Genoese sponge, Bavarois white chocolate, raspberry mousse. Sounds amazing, Paul says. What are you setting your jelly with? Agar, I say. And it's professional, Bruce says. Will it be clear enough? It does set clear. Is there going to be a grasshopper in there? No, that one's just hanging out with me. So, okay, well, that's interesting. Laura says, I need the luck. She's setting her fish in some sort of mold, like jellyfish. I mean, not jelly or gelatin fish, pudding fish almost. Dave's doing 3D art beach scene that he's like doing into the upside down bowl or right side up bowl for now. Layer after layer, new quay beach scene with guava and apple, clotted cream mousse, chocolate fudge sponge. I don't know if this would be my thing, though. I don't like chocolates and fruits together. It's just two things I like to keep separate. They talk about Point Break, hanging with Keanu, him, Noel, and Noel says, I'd be Swayze. And Dave's dad's dog's named Swayze. Respect, Noel says. So he's working on his cake. You got to get your foundations right, man. Genoese sponge, Laura's Genoise. Genoise. Hermine gets a kick out of that, too. And you got to make the effort. I like how they all get along. 170 for 20-30. Broad window for Peter. Mark's working. He's going to do an airy meringue as part of his two-tier, as a base for his two-tier thing. Hazelnut dacquois or something. Hermine's giving a cherry liquor drizzle to her Genoise sponge. A little cake with alcohol. Hers is chocolate and raspberry mousse jelly cake, a giant poppy flower, Kirsch syrup, chocolate strawberry mousses, and a tempered collar. And Paul says, is it going to hold if we put our knife through it? Did it hold in practice? She said, I practiced them separately, so never put one on top of the other yet. Yeah, so this is going to be the first time I do it. And Bruce says, have you done the jelly flowers before? A couple of times, she says. It can be, jelly can split. Be careful. Good luck. Thanks, going to need it. Then everybody's working on theirs. Laura's Showstopper. She's looking at the fish. People are mixing their mousses. And melt in your mouth jelly. Paul and Prue want to see a perfectly set mousse. Cranberry juice, Peter's reducing down. And his base for his mousse. Dave's making his clotted cream with gelatin in there. Laura says, I don't want it to be like my ice cream cake. I'm still thinking about that. Mark's got something that's turning gloppy on him. Peter's trying to make his mousse less loose with corn flour. Make the custard base slightly thicker. And, all right, well, let's see what happens here. My panna cotta is going to have some panna cotta molded panna cotta shapes. Don't slip up, man. That's what somebody says. Peter's doing a snow globe jelly cake. Inside of a snow globe, Christmas decorations, orange and cranberry, molasses, coconut dusted Italian meringue buttercream. Hello. I hope so. How long did it take to set in practice? He said, I don't know. I didn't time it. You didn't time it. That's useful. We'll find out today. 1 hour left. Fakey cakey bakers, Matt says. Righty-ho, rinky-dink, okie dokie. I got to get going, Peter says. Got to get everything cooling and setting. Mark cooked one of the things low and slow to give it a crunchy texture. Peter's listening to his cakes. And Laura's showing her fishes, which look cool. And then she's going to put the flowers above them. Mark's working on his, injected designs. Bit of a crazy technique of how, they have different shape things even. Cookie cutting panna cotta, that's what Peter's doing. Oh, you bugger, somebody says. I think that was Mark. Peter's even he's trying to cookie cut reindeer. And Laura's got a blockage on hers. And this is like baking, but not baking as we know it. Hermine's waiting for her mousse to set. This is very interesting. This is different than what we've ever done this, since everybody's been here. And Laura's checking hers. She actually has a clear bottom thing. Who's that? Dave checks his. Hermine she's really happy. Peter's eating his bowl to melt the jelly. And now I got to put the panna cotta figures in there. And Matt's talking about aluminum foil with Laura and Noel. Well, she's trying to get work done. And Noel says, Matt, you stay here till you figure out the foil. Bottom of the jelly for Mark. Then put that in the flowers. Hermine's got to put hers in the fridge. She sealed her top. So everybody's trying to get theirs assembled, I think, so it can set again. Like almost like filling a bowl because there's 30 minutes left. Oh, yeah, you got to set it and then get it out. Set it. And don't forget it, though. Get it out of the bowl. Okay, Dave's got to wait. Okay, Matt's, okay, so people are starting to put theirs together. Mark's hasn't quite said how he wanted it. Laura almost dropped hers. Well, Laura ends up dropping her cake, but onto the thing. Dave's been done for like a half hour. Oh, he's waiting for his to set, I guess. Hermine's chocolate collar's going on nicely. And now Mark's going to try to put his jelly on his cake. Everybody's putting theirs in like warm water to try to release it, the ones that are in bowls. Or hot water. You could melt the whole thing, though. And somebody says, Peter says, mine's too melty. Oh, boy. He says, come on. We got multiple flips. Dave, everybody's flipping. Laura's layer comes off. She didn't use a bowl, though. Mark's won't come out. Dave's won't come out. Peter's won't come out. Everybody's begging theirs to come out. Peter's is stuck. Bloomin' heck. Dave's comes out. Then Mark's comes out. Wibble wobble. Jeepers creepers, Peter says. Not awful, though. Hermine's comes out. Hers looks like something that was designed like in a... Dave's is pretty good, too. Like in a professional... I don't even know. Like it looks like a piece of professional, like... Mark's looks really good, too. So all the jellies look pretty good. Please step away from jelly. Let's see how they're judged, though. Wow, Lord. I mean, these are really cool things to look at. I don't know what they would taste like, but look like lucite designs. Like when you see like a kitchen, like or bathroom with like lucite sink and toilet and stuff, and bathtub with designs in it. This is big, though, because it's all going to come down to this. And we start with Laura, who was in the most safest place, right? Flower power, koi, jelly, art cake. And they say, okay, it looks like a pond, yeah, like the flowers. And the bubbles, the koi's bubbling, right? They're fish. Paul would have preferred some kind of collar to make it look neater. Jelly's nice and soft. They bite into it. Raspberry mousse is good. And thank you, lovely. Bruce says, perfect. Paul says, every layer, jelly melts in your mouth. All the flour works, every single texture. Spot on. So Laura clearly safe. It could be Star Baker. It looks like... Okay, next up is Dave's. His looks good. His is more of like a watercolor type look. And it is three-dimensional. David, absolutely astonishing. Colors are beautiful. Prue's colors, exactly. If Prue was a cake, this would be it. So Dave's happy. Clever. So neat on the inside, too. And they take some bites. Nice and light, fantastic, melts in your mouth. Clotted cream mousse is the only thing Paul doesn't like. Too much gelatin, stodgy. Sponge itself, I'm not getting any chocolate, so I don't know. It's dry. Okay. Wouldn't be so harsh, but my quarrels with the mousse, Prue says. So not as silky soft, but quite an achievement, David. Really beautiful. Well done. All right, so now David's safe. Peter's up next. And they look at his very abstract. Reindeer, snow person, okay. Christmas tree, repeated. Looks like snow globe. Oh, no, does not look like snow globe. Needs bolder colors. A little pale. Needs more vibrancy. It's a bit pastel. Okay, there's mousse down the center. Not the easiest cake to cut. I don't know if these are properly set. Very soft. Okay. Overbaked sponge. You could tell by the color. Shouldn't be that dark. Flavors are beautiful, though. Main problem is the size. And the mousses aren't that set. It's like a trifle. But Brew wants another mouthful. Well done, Peter. So he was in trouble, and so it seems like he's probably still in trouble. All right, Mark's up next. Apple jelly, chocolate, strawberry mousse. Looks curdled nuts, Bruce says. This is going to be interesting. Also, it's on top of a board. Oh, wait a second. There's a board in the middle of your cake. Something. Oh, meringue board, but... so they have to cut the two things separately. It's very jiggly. So everybody has a laugh about that. And is this meant to be mousse, chocolate? More like a ganache. Chocolate's hard. Mousse split. Overbaked. Jelly's too rubbery. But besides that, brilliant. I like the two-tier design. Just not as a cake or one piece. I don't think the concept was right. All right, so Mark's not in good shape. Mark and Peter right now. Hermine was not in good shape coming into this, but looking very impressive. Again, she's got the dome one, like which I guess Dave. They say this could be at a Parisian fancy place. It's a perfect poppy. Bruce says it's perfect poppy. They cut into it, take a bite. Paul pauses. Absolutely gorgeous. Raspberry mousse, beautiful. It's got the aromatic flavors, fantastic. Layers are interesting. Poppy top. And you always make a good Genoese, so real triumph for me. White chocolate ganache is delicious, too. Take it away. So nothing to complain about. Thank you. So, okay, Hermine's in the safe place. So now it's just down to David and Peter, right? Or Mark. So Hermine's happy, really happy. Mark not feeling great. That didn't go good. Could have done better. And Peter, this kid, he's like, this is the worst I've done. I'm not sure I've done enough. I think I have. We see a plane in the sky, and then we go to table talk. Time for table talk. All right, so it was an amazing day today, Bruce said. Okay, Hermine did amazing. Man, could be in a fashion in Paris or something. It's elegant. Laura's was good, but untidy around the edges. Cake was great. Mousses were good. Topping lovely. Dave had two halves. Top half amazing. Bottom half didn't work. Peter's tasted really nice. Wasn't the best thing he's ever done. Too big to cut a bit. Noel says, geez, when you should be able to cut a slice to show people. Mark's, you couldn't even cut it. So he had to take it apart. Could have stood on the middle part. Felt bad for him. So it must have been worse than they even judged it, Mark's. So then they talk about the signature. That was tight. Everybody managed to produce some kind of cheesecakes. And the other one, nobody did great. Because it's 4.5 hours. You can't just brush this off. Got to look at the Showstopper. So this one must have been really close. As a matter of fact, the first time I watched it, I thought I was surprised at the outcome. But now rewatching it through your eyes, I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. And Mark's probably just, first we'll find out what Star Baker is. Star Bakers are mean, so that must have been close too. But Erminda just did so good in the 4.5 hour day-long challenge. It was like heads and tails above everybody else. Matt's got to say who's leaving, and I'm sure this was a tough choice. And maybe it was based on past performance, because the person who's leaving us is Mark, and they're sorry. Mark says it's okay. And they hug around. And the first time I was like, I was nervous just because Peter was one of the people I was rooting for. I thought he was going to go. But now it kind of makes a little bit more sense. Even when I watched it, I said, okay, they were, so, okay, so they give hugs all around and they say goodbye. He says, yeah, I definitely learned a lot. I should be proud. You should be, yeah. I got to give myself more credit in the future. And, yeah, this was a big journey for you. So, started off badly. Then as each week passed, you got better and better and better. And it's a shame to see you go. So, I think this was the second, like, what was Lottie gone last week? That was another one that I was like, you got it. What? Really? He goes off with his daughters, and Peter's relieved. Laura's like, I was really close to Mark, so it's tough. So she's teared up. He's a real gent. Well done, Ermine. Can't believe it. I still think of myself in the tent, like wondering if that jelly was going to set or not. And just very happy that they liked the whole thing. Prue calls her a clever girl. Second Star Baker in a row. Amazing baker. And in the past, she's kept it safe, but she went for it this time. And it turned out beautiful. Semifinals next week. 4 fantastic bakers, according to Paul. Who knows who's going to win? So semifinals coming up. It doesn't seem real. Mind blown, Dave, that he made it through. And it ends. So that's it for this week. We'll be back soon with week 9 and then eventually week 10 of this collection and season and series of the Great British Bake Off. Good night, everybody.